Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're in darkness with the radio playing low. It's like, alright, you doing the nasty, okay. Like little tear wants to come out. But I don't, because I'm a man. Welcome to a new episode of Songs I Wish I Wrote. On this week's episode, we're going to be covering Bob Seger's Against the Wind. This is an absolute classic. Is it a good song, though? Yeah, it's a good one. In case you're not familiar, my name is Alex. I also go by Two Fates. I'm an engineer, producer, songwriter, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we're going to be breaking down why I think this song is so amazing. Let's get it. So, Bob Seger's Against the Wind. One of my all-time favorite tracks. Now, it's a little bit different than a lot of the things I put on this channel, mostly because it's kind of old. It's older than I am. It's not that old. But, the song was made in 1980. Produced by a guy named Punch Andrews. If you're not familiar with Punch Andrews, it's probably understandable. He really only does Bob Seger's. He was also their manager for a while, so they kind of just like, they stayed together, you know? God. Bob Seger is accompanied by the Silver Bullet Band. That's his like ride or die crew. That was where most of his career, that was his backing band for most of it. It's kind of like Hootie and the Blowfish. That was a joke because there was no Hootie, there was no Blowfish. His name was Darius Rucker and they didn't call themselves a Blowfish. Little joke for you. So this is a classic acoustic rock like ballad. The song was incredibly popular. It was all over the radio stations. I know that. Wasn't there, but I know it. On top of that, it also won a Grammy for best rock performance by a duo, basically because it was a band, so like I think they put it into the band. He won a Grammy. Leave him alone. So in this song, he talked to Rolling Stone about it back in 1980. And he basically described the song as explaining the difference between people using you and the people who actually really care. And especially in the music industry, that's a really thin line sometimes. Especially as you gain popularity and clout and everything. And it's like, once you kind of make a name for yourself, all these people show up out of nowhere. And they're like, ooh, like I was there from the beginning. It's like, fuck out of here, no you weren't. That washing machine is very loud. So, through this song, he kind of changes the story a little bit, but it's all within the same subject matter. So he starts the song talking about Janie. Janie was lovely. She was the queen of my nights. Beautiful line, by the way. But, as it goes through, the secrets that we shared, the mountains that we moved, caught like a wildfire out of control. Till there was nothing left to burn and nothing left to prove. So it's basically like, yeah, we did everything that we needed to, or that we could, that we were trying to, but we were running against the wind. We were young and strong, we were running against the wind. Then he starts moving through it. The years of road slowly pass and I found myself alone. It's like some of these people that are early on in your life that kind of disappear. For better or for worse, whatever reasoning behind it, it's like some fall out of, you know, grace, I guess. God, I love this fucking song. Goes on to say, surrounded by strangers I thought were my friends, found myself further and further from home. It's like, you meet all these people and you hang out, you're hanging out at a bar, you're doing whatever, you know, meeting, networking. Everything kind of makes you feel displaced from where you originally were. And at that point you kind of look around and you're like, you know, some of these people are so new, like I don't even know where I met them. Like they just came around and now they're here and now I'm used to them being here. So after that he moves on farther from a relationship and more to friends. He says, I guess I lost my way. There were oh so many roads. I was living to run and running to live. Never worried about paying or how much I owe. And that's one of those things, you know, you and your friends go out and you pay for the whole bill. Why? Because you're the, you know, you're the rock star. You're the one, you know, doing all these sold out shows and traveling and making all this money. And you're like, I'll just pay for everything. But usually once that money dries up, so do those people. One of my favorite lines, moving 8 miles a minute for months at a time, breaking on all the rules that would bend. You're constantly moving. Constantly doing stuff, networking, talking to people, doing whatever you need to like succeed. At that point, like, you know, he's probably club hopping, doing whatever he needs to, sneaking into places he really shouldn't be, doing things he really shouldn't be, you know, bad. Shame on you. But when you're young and wild, you're running against the wind. Just like anybody though, all this fun has to come to an end. Usually in your late 20s, 30s, I mean, I'm guilty of it myself, you kind of get tired of it. You kind of get tired of living a little bit more of a reckless lifestyle. You like being a homebody, you like relaxing and the quiet and calm. And he even says it, well, those drifter days are past me now. Got so much more to think about. Deadlines and commitments. What to leave in, what to leave out. Talking about, you know, at that point it's like you got to make some sacrifices. You know, you can't be out all night if you got to be up early in the morning to get things done. You got to be more responsible about things. And there's a lot of maturity in that, and it's something that kind of gets lost, and a lot of people don't think about it and don't plan for it, but eventually you kind of burn out. You know, you don't want to be at the bar every night, all night, or, you know, hanging out with, you know, people that, you know, are wild or dangerous or whatever, and it's like you start looking around and you're like, I just want to go home. I want to see my wife, my girlfriend, play with my dog, whatever. But it's like, I don't need to be a wild, crazy man anymore. I'm grown. I'm older now, but still running against the wind. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful concept. It's like no matter how old you get, it's like you still have difficulties. They might change. You know, you're not, you know, you don't have the 17-year-old problems, but you have the 22-year-old problems. And then you don't have the 22-year-old problems, but you got the 30-year-old problems. You know, you get older, you got a wife, girlfriend, a kid, a dog, a house, a mortgage, whatever your, you know, obligations are. It's like life doesn't really get easier, it just changes. But while you go through it, you realize things and you gain that knowledge and that experience so that like you don't have to deal with those problems anymore. But you got to deal with these ones, but you don't have to deal with those ones anymore. And kind of you go through life and you kind of figure it out. It's great. You know, I think we're all just running against the wind. Now, a big difference between this hit song and a newer hit song is about 2.5 minutes and a long outro. Now, a lot of songs these days usually are about 3.5 minutes. Now they're even getting a little bit shorter, 2.5, 2:45, something like that. The song's 5.5 minutes long. Now, there's two reasons for that. One, there's a big instrumental break in the middle, huge piano solo. It's really beautiful. And then also an outro where he repeats Against the Wind back to back to back to back with a bunch of like ad-libs in between it. And it's just the band like rocking out, and you know, everybody's like looking around and they're just feeling the groove and they're feeling that feeling. And like the drummer's just going off, he's got his nice little groove, and it's smooth, it's cool. And I'm sure a lot of you are just gonna be like, alright, I get the point, Skip. You're missing out. This song is fantastic. From 0 seconds to 5.5 minutes. It's a beautiful song. This is a really great classic rock song. You know, you're just eating breakfast and you're like, this is nice. This is nice. So I found this song when I was maybe like, I don't know, 10 or so, 10 or 11. My mom bought me Bob Seger's Greatest Hits album. And that's like, don't even get me started on there. It's one of my favorite albums just because, like, I mean, obviously every one of them is a greatest hit. But this song in particular, I ride a motorcycle. I put this song on and I'm on the freeway during a sunset, listen to Against the Wind. I'm still running against the wind. I'm just riding, I'm just like feeling it and just be like, this is just absolutely perfect. It's serene. It's absolutely perfect. And I think that's why the song, it has such a long outro, but you just don't want it to end. I'm riding there in the sunset. It's just like, this is just an absolutely perfect moment. You could be in a convertible with the top down, or like an SUV with the windows down, just a nice breeze coming through, sitting on a back porch with a beer. There's no bad time for this song. It's absolutely perfect for any time you're just sitting relaxing, thinking about life, thinking about how things are going, your younger days, what's to come, all the things you've been through. It's just perfect. Good job, guys. Hi guys, thank you so much for checking out Songs I Wish I Wrote. As always, if you liked the video, please like the video. Give me a little subscribe, you know, stay up to date with the things that we do. Down below you got the Instagram, the Twitter link, all that good stuff. Also, check out the website. You can see all the music that we work on. Who knows, you might like it. Anyway, until next time, see ya.